We talked about the increased risk firefighters face of getting and dying from occupational cancer and the importance of raising awareness on this issue yesterday. But how are all these heroes being exposed? And what are stations currently doing to help firefighters right now? Alexa Griffey joins us in the studio with today's part two of Igniting the Conversation, the cost of firefighting. Alexa.
Thanks, Phyllis. You brought up some really good questions, and some of the answers may surprise you. You'll see that the very thing protecting them from the fires themselves may be slowly killing them. Part two of my series, Igniting the Conversation, we're looking at the different ways firefighters are exposed to things that cause cancer. That includes the gear that they wear, the foam they use to fight the fires, and even the fumes from their fire trucks. The CDC refers to these types of exposures as occupational exposures. The cancers linked to these exposures are often referred to as occupational cancer. Tonight, we look at some of the actions being taken to better protect the firefighters and how the culture has changed in the fire service.
Top priority is the safety of the firefighters here.
Firefighters rely on certain things to protect them while fighting fires. The trucks carrying them to the fires and holding their equipment, their gear to protect them from heat and flames, and foams to put out the fires. But those things could be putting them at risk.
And it just is what it is. I mean, we have to have that gear to protect us, thermal protection in the fires. It's sad that that's an inherent risk that comes with that, and the fire protection built into it is killing us.
Over the past few years, firefighter groups have been looking into how they're being exposed to carcinogens and the types of cancers facing the fire service.
The foams and the gear, really, they in the past have had what are called PFAS. Another term for them, they call them forever chemicals, because once they do get into your system, they don't go away.
The EPA says PFAS are widely used and long-lasting chemicals that break down slowly.
There is a percentage of it in all of the personal protective equipment, the turnout gear that firefighters wear.
Schumacher says manufacturers are working on alternatives without these chemicals. He says progress has been made with new foams, but as of today, there are no safer alternatives to the gear.
Which is your thermal protection, and this is your vapor barrier. And then they have the outer shell.
So it's not like one specific thing like this or that. It's just kind of whenever it all gets heated.
Yeah.
Vienna Volunteer Fire Chief Scholl says that the fires themselves are changing too.
And like I said, the fires burn so much hotter and faster anymore that it's really a disadvantage to us.
More synthetic materials and plastics have caused the fires to burn faster, hotter, and with more chemicals in the smoke. This is causing firefighters to reevaluate how they attack the fires. Some of those changes include new equipment, separate gear rooms, and supplies.
We recently have built 2 new fire stations, and we're working on a third. Part of that build process was, making it as safe as possible for the firefighters that are there.
Part of that safer build process includes a new vent system that hooks up to the fire trucks and funnels the exhaust out of the building. Chief Matthews says this system and having a separate room for their gear is a no-brainer.
I know before we got those, you would, when they clean the station every day, you could go in and wipe down the kitchen table, and you could see it inside the station.
Wipes and decontamination kits are now brought to the fires.
We have wipes on the trucks where even, they come out and they start taking that stuff off. They're wiping down their face, their hands, so there's even no residual particulates on them. They wipe them off before they can absorb them. With the amount of heat, the gear is made to release the heat, but you're still opening up those pores and it's able to absorb a lot faster.
It isn't just procedural changes that have come from the research, but also cultural changes.
It used to be if your turnout gear and your helmet was really dirty, that you were a really good firefighter. And now we're learning okay, yeah, you're going to get dirty, but you need to clean it after, and you don't need to breathe that stuff in. You don't need to absorb that stuff through your skin. So those are the big changes.
When you sign up to do this, it's dangerous. You don't want to go looking for problems. But back then, of course, we were all young and invincible. But over time, things, the older I get, the more I hope I'm learning about it and being more cautious about it.
I did ask both Fire Chief Matthews and Scholl if anyone in their departments had been diagnosed with occupational cancer, and they said they didn't know of anyone who had. And like I said, researchers are still trying to learn more about these forever chemicals and the effects that they have on the body. Tomorrow, in my final part of the series, we'll look at the different types of cancers firefighters are facing and what's being done to help protect them. We'll also look to the future. What do firefighters want to see happen? And what does the future of firefighting look like? Phyllis.